Feel that power, y'all. Come on. See, I gotta draw the line, I can't take it no more. If you ain't down with revolution, what you waiting for? Making money for suckers and our communities poor. Ripping flags off of coffins, man, this ain't our war. Colonized and terrorized by the world's biggest killers. The US government, the biggest weapon and drug dealers. Filling prisons with children, incarcerating the future. MySpace and Facebook, got us stuck on computers. Stuck on stupid bumping music, that's abusive to the shorty.
Wall Street ain't just on Trinity Street. Wall Street ain't just on Chambers Street in New York. Wall Street is wherever there's corporate greed. And why not have a Wall Street South March when this is where chattel slavery was born?
We're here today to protest the DNC's decision to choose the lowest unionized state in the country to have their DNC convention, as well as Charlotte, the second largest banking city in the country, where Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Duke Energy's interests far outweigh the interests of the working class.
And that's what we're here to do today, to raise up the voice of the people, who are the ones who have been victims and have been dealing with the progress for the 1% off the backs of hardworking individuals. And as you can see, I stand before Martin Luther King, and what he talked about was a fierce urgency of now.
Duke Energy is trying to buy political influence and has spent millions of dollars to bring the DNC here to Charlotte, and millions more to befriend Democrats and Republicans alike. Burning all of this coal is the leading cause of global climate change, which further links all of our struggles. As the planet gets hotter and the sea levels begin to rise, more and more people across the world will struggle to have enough food and water to survive. This means we are going to see more wars over limited resources, more refugees crossing borders as they struggle to survive, as their land disappears into the sea and their farmland burns. That's right. This means we will see more oppression of our people. It is more important than ever to bring people together to form a progressive movement again.
Is that what we have seen, not just in the past 4 years, but the past 30 years, is that the politicians who have been elected, the so-called do our bidding, have been doing the bidding of the richest, most wealthiest people in this country, of the banks and the financial institutions and the heads of corporations. And they say that just because we get to pull a lever every 2 years or every 4 years, that means we have democracy. How can you go to someone and say, you live in a democratic society, yet you cannot feed yourself or your families? How can you tell someone who's being foreclosed on and kicked out of their house that you live in a democratic society when you do not have a roof over your head? If that's democracy, then we need something else.
You know, we face a contradiction every time we demonstrate where the Democratic Convention is, because the Republicans are so racist and so anti-women and so homophobic and so hostile to the workers and the poor and celebrating the rich that you can't blame a lot of people for going to the Democrats on election day. But we have to be here because we have to remind people that if you take off that cover of the Democrats, their policies are the same.
This great Audre Lorde quote, there are no single issue movements because we do not lead single issue lives.
The United States has been taking care of its business, which is exploit the rest of the planet. By doing this, we're being forced to migrate, to leave our homes looking for a better opportunity. We don't believe that the life of any human being is worth just a piece of paper.
Sisters and brothers, no matter who is in the White House, we play a crucial role in the worldwide struggle against imperialism.
Our drones have killed so many in so many lands that we have become the terrorists of the world. When children in Pakistan hear the sound of an airplane overhead or see the shadow of a drone circling above them, they see the shadow of death. What cruel and unusual punishment for a people whose only crimes are wanting some food on their table, clean water to drink, clothes on their back, and a place to sleep in peace.
Drone missiles rain down on Pakistan and elsewhere, and they threaten to attack Syria and Iran. Why? Control of resources and power in the interests of the wealthy elite. To wage war abroad, they must wage war at home. There is a war on civil liberties with massive surveillance and attacks on our right to dissent.
This is what democracy looks like!
Show me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like!
We're here to demand an end to the war on black people here and in Africa. From police brutality and mass incarceration to AFRICOM and proxy wars across the African continent.
What's disgusting? You're getting busted!
We are the power. No one else. The people are the power.
The city of Charlotte got $50 million in order to prepare for this undemocratic convention. Tampa got $50 million to prepare for their reactionary convention. $100 million when you can't find money for education, when you can't find money for jobs, when you can't find money for raises.
We've got to stand up against corporate greed. We've got to say to Bank of America and every other corporation that is participating in crimes against humanity that enough is enough. And like Sister Fannie Lou Hamer, we're sick